I made a mod to add USB-C charging to a Wiimote or Wiimote Plus. It requires no soldering to install, has a rechargeable battery built in, and you can even charge while playing. First, let's go over what you would get if you bought a mod from me. You'd get this module right here, which features a 3D printed frame, a USB-C charging board, battery contacts, a battery, and some wires to connect it all. It comes pre-assembled and I've done all the soldering for you. If you're interested or want one of these mods for yourself, visit my Tindy. I put a link in the description to where you can buy one of these kits. First thing you'll want to do is flip over your Wii remote and take off the battery cover. We're going to have to trim 3 places, which is a rib right here, a rib right here, and a rib right here, to make space for the whole mod. Take a pair of flush cutters and cut these off, as I'm going to do here. While you don't have to be super precise with these cuts, you do want to make them as flush as possible with the other plastic to make sure that they don't interfere with your installation of the charging module. We've made 3 of the cuts required. The last one is on the Wii battery cover. Before we make the cut in the battery cover for the USB-C port, I'm going to put the USB-C rechargeable battery in the Wiimote so we can easily measure where we need to cut. In order to do this, we're going to take our battery module and we're going to push it in so that the thing we need to pay attention to is that spring right there is lined up. You need to squeeze it and you need to get it past this rib right there when you're squeezing it and then push it down. You may need to push the spring down a little bit manually with some pliers or like a pencil. Okay, now we have the battery installed. We can do a really quick test by flipping the Wiimote over and pressing one of the buttons. You'll see that the lights flash for a little bit. Now we're going to put the battery cover on, but before we do that, we actually have to do one more thing, which is cut a slot for the USB-C port. How we're going to measure out the slot is just by taking the battery cover, lining it up the best you can, and then making a couple of quick markings. And then I'll trim that off camera and then make the slot and then I'll come back here. Alright, so now you can see here I've actually made the cut in the back cover, and when I put it on, it fits on really nicely and closes pretty easily. Now what I've done in order to do this is I've cut this slot right here, but then I've also actually added a few grooves on the back in order to make it fit around the board. You can either make those grooves with like a Dremel if you have one or a file, or you can just make this slot a little bit bigger, wider, or add a little bit of width to just the top bit of it. But now I'm just going to put that back on, and that is a completed Wiimote with a USB-C charging mod. And it works just fine like a normal Wiimote, but you can play and charge and have a rechargeable battery. Thank you for watching this video.